Hey Taurus, we are going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys, Taurus. All right, Taurus. Let's see what's going on, Taurus. Ooh, yikes. 10 of Swords with the reverse Ace of Cups. Okay, that is not what we're doing. So, all right, yikes. Okay, let's see. Ugh, I do not like that energy. Let's see what's going on, Taurus. I'm pretty sure that just split right at the Judgment card. I think that was the Judgment card. Oh boy. All right, let's see what's going on. Okay. All right. You guys have the Justice card. This is showing up for your current energy here. So I think there's maybe a particular thing that, I don't know, cause and effect. Okay. That kind of situation. I think that's what we're talking about. All right. Justice card. Okay. Maybe you're understanding the effect of something here. Okay. I wonder if that's what it is, or you're like really like thinking about that in some sense. Okay. All right. Let's see. I also think there's maybe something here that you're just wanting, that you're maybe just in a balanced energy, or there's something that you're maybe thriving for, like a certain level of like just, you know, having a nice, something balanced, something fair, you know, that kind of thing. So, all right. You have the Ace of Pentacles and yeah, I'm understanding like, just fairness, you know, that kind of stuff on this Justice card. So, okay, you have the Ace of Pentacles. This is showing up in your environment. So I feel like there is a new opportunity of some sort, or something that is maybe kind of like takes time, effort, that kind of stuff. Okay. Also, I wonder if maybe this is, maybe you guys have, interesting. Okay, I do think that there's something maybe financial that is coming your way, but I also want to say this might be a job offer for some of you guys, okay? There might be something about that, all right? Let's keep going here. It's not going to be a job offer for everyone, just so you know, but I'm getting, I am understanding that for like somebody. So you have the Page of Cups and you have it with this Success card, and this is showing up as your challenge. So I kind of feel like you are assuming that something is not going to work. That's what it feels like. This Success card has like this little plant. It's got roots kind of like digging down there in the dirt, that kind of stuff. Okay. The Ace of Pentacles is definitely something you have to like, you know, nurture, cultivate, take care of, that kind of thing. So maybe this is you guys again, possibly just being like, you know, I don't know how this is going to go. Or again, maybe like doubting yourself, or not feeling super hopeful, or for some of you guys, it's even like, I can't even see this. I can't even see how this would be a possibility, or, you know, that kind of thing. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. There also might be something that was maybe brought your way that is maybe just it doesn't feel good, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. What I will also say here is I wonder if you intuitively went into something, and I wonder if like that was correct, like your intuition was correct. And I wonder if it's just like that was something maybe you didn't really want to be accurate, or you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. So, all right, interesting. You have number 30. You are brilliant, and this is showing up for your opportunity. And then you have it with the 3 of Swords. So this feels like possibly healing yourself, or you know, maybe going through a grief situation. But I understand this again as healing yourself in some sense. Okay, maybe even offering an apology, or receiving an apology. Okay, it certainly could be. Interesting. Geez, these readings are kind of weird right now. They're like, I don't know, they're interesting energy. Sagittarius, and who did I read for? I read for Sag and Capricorn today. Saggies was wild. All right, so let's see. Maybe you guys like the number 3 as well. Okay, 3 of Swords and then 30. So there could be something in that. 330 maybe. All right, so let's see. All right. You are brilliant. I mean, that's kind of nice. So, I mean, if anything, I kind of feel like your opportunity is maybe to understand that, like, you might be being a little bit not so nice to yourself, or at least like doubting something that I feel like could definitely be successful, or, you know, that kind of thing. Okay. Maybe even like a delay in something here. Maybe the challenge here is like delayed results, or a delayed consequence of something here, that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see what else. And then we are going to clarify your challenge and opportunity. All right. Taurus. All right, so with the success card here, you guys have the Page of Cups, and then you have it with the Three of Wands, again, showing up for your challenge. So I feel like this is maybe wondering where something is, okay? Maybe there's something here that you're, again, assuming that something is not going to come in for you, or that, you know, something is going to take too long, that kind of stuff. I even wonder if there's maybe a challenge in you feeling like somebody else is like going to find something better, or, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, that could certainly be it. I wonder if there's maybe something here where you have seen somebody else kind of flirting with something or somebody, whatever it is, that maybe you know, that could definitely hurt someone's feelings, all right, that kind of stuff. But I do feel like this is, again, like being like, this is never going to happen, or this, like, I can't wait here forever, you know, that kind of stuff, all right? I do think there's like a delay in some reward, or a delay in something that like was supposed to be successful. And I think the challenge now is waiting for that, you know, waiting to hear back, or seeing what's going to come in of something, that kind of stuff. All right, so let's see. You guys have the, you have the Four of Wands, and this is showing up as what you're not able to control. I think that this is what you're not able to control, is something that somebody has like entered into, or has already been kind of like completed in some sense here, okay? I also feel like maybe you're not able to control if somebody else wants to free themselves from some situation, all right? I don't know why that, I don't know, but that might be just something that you're just not able to control that in some sense, okay? I also feel like there's maybe a hard time, finalizing something, okay? Or you're not able to control maybe what somebody else, like you might, okay, I'm like, what's going on here? Because I'm like, does somebody else want to celebrate like small victories for you along the way? And I wonder if you're ignoring those and being like, no, I only want like the big victory, or I don't even want to acknowledge like the small wins, or whatever it is, or certain milestones, something like that, okay? That kind of stuff, that might be something here, especially if there is like a delay energy in that kind of way. So, all right, you have the Ace of Wands, and this is showing up as, I also want to say that you can't control what somebody's anniversary is, or when or somebody's engaged or not, or if somebody, I don't know, if something was celebrated, or I don't know, made official in some sense, all right? You know, that kind of stuff. That's awesome. The Page of Cups has this like little like fish in his bowl there. Well, that's not a bowl, it's a cup. But and then I said official, so it's kind of funny. I don't know. I think it's funny. But okay, so let's see. Ace of Wands, this is showing up as what you can control. So I feel like there is something, and first of all, there's like a lot of fire going on here, okay? A lot of like movement, action, that kind of situation. So this is either like really following your impulses and like kind of, or following what it is that you want, being like, I know what I want, I'm going to be decisive about it, that kind of stuff. That could certainly be it. That might even be part of it. Maybe it's like, you know, a little bit of like indecision, that type of situation. So Ace of Wands, I feel like it's like what you can control is either how maybe you can control what somebody else is willing to do, or you are able to control like the direction of something here, that kind of stuff. I also understand that you're able to control like the excitement level of something, okay? I know that sounds friggin' like really weird, okay? That kind of stuff, but I almost understand it. Like you can like reel something in, or guys, there's like a lot of, that's kind of awesome. So like, that's what I'm understanding is like, you know, you can control whether you want to, again, like reel something in, or kind of like let the energy expand more, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. There is excitement that, I want to say like fanfare. I really definitely want to lean on that. There's something about that. So you have the Hermit card, and this is showing up for your next steps forward here. So okay, I think that there's something about maybe doing something, or maybe just giving yourself time for something, or even following your own advice. Maybe this is like, you know what, instead of waiting to see if somebody else thinks something is possible, it's like, just friggin' do it, you know? I almost wonder if this is like what you can't control is somebody like close the door on a situation, or, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, and if that's the case, maybe this is like motivating yourself in some sense, you know, that kind of stuff, or just being like a friggin' self-starter, whatever the heck it is, all right? Okay, so yes, this Hermit card, I do feel like part of this is for your next steps here. Again, I do think that this is something that I feel like you want to share some information, or you have like information, knowledge, whatever the heck it is on something here. But I wonder if it's like possibly you going to like review something, or to check up on something, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. Maybe doing something that is like a completely like by yourself, or something that you can kind of like give yourself time to work through something, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, so let's see. You have this number 30, you are brilliant energy over here for your opportunity. And then you have it with the Three of Swords and the Knight of Wands. I do think there's something about you know what this feels like? This feels like if this is like, I want to say intrusive energy or something like that. I feel like your opportunity is to like cut it off before it like gets to you, or before like it, I don't know, before you're like influenced in a certain way about something here, you know, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm understanding. All right. And I also think there's something, there really is something about like motivation. Okay. Like motivating yourself or motivating somebody else here, that kind of stuff. I do understand that. I just feel like you are more so in the energy of wanting something to be done fairly, or wanting it to be done in like really wanting something to be like balanced out, you know, that kind of stuff. And again, I really do understand that. I feel like there's something here that you're just like, yes, cause and effect, that makes sense to me, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, you have the reverse Two of Wands here, and this is showing up for your skills. So I think that this is, you have the skills of backtracking something, all right, really like kind of like backtracking, or this is like reinventing something that you were like, okay, I'm going to go in this direction, whatever it is, and then it's like, wait, hold on, let me take a step back, or let me kind of like make sure, let me like rework this thing, or make a different choice on something, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I really understand like cutting something off like before it can get to you, or I don't know, something like that. All right, so you have the reverse Knight of Cups, and this is showing up as the possible help. So this might be somebody who is, I want to say maybe kind of like, I almost want to say selfish. I really do. Somebody who's maybe like kind of like selfish about something, or maybe is in a particular, I don't really know if it's selfish. I think it's more like somebody who is like, yeah, like I love that idea. Like I hope that happens. And then it's like the help is like somebody who's like, no, I don't want that to happen. I'm on your side. I don't want that to happen at all. Or like, I don't know, something like that. This is a friggin' interesting one. So let's see. You guys have the Moon card, and this is showing up as your next steps. So, okay, I feel like everyone's getting the Moon card. Geez. So I do think your next steps are to go into something that, again, is maybe a little bit unknown, or doing something that is really involving your intuition, that kind of stuff, okay? Certainly understanding that. Maybe there's an energy of, I wonder if this is facing fears in the sense of like, you might have this like story that you like tell yourself, or like something that like always like pops into your head, that kind of stuff, that is like maybe like not the nicest words or whatever the heck it is. I think that there's something about like, hey, let's figure out why that keeps happening, or like getting to the bottom of something, that kind of stuff. All right. But I feel like this is like the energy of, again, doing something that is either like really secret or extremely like intuitive, that kind of stuff. Maybe like secret or unknown in some sense, but it feels like that's kind of your skill here. And I also feel like it's like, you're like, again, you're good at that. You're good at figuring out that kind of stuff. Okay. And I also wonder if the next steps is maybe to even like try something that you've just, it's like, I don't even know how this is going to end, but it's at least friggin' going for it, you know, that kind of stuff. All right. So let's see. I also wonder if this Knight of Cups reversed for like the help. I wonder if this is somebody who's like, yeah, I'll do that, but like my heart's not like completely invested in it to the point where it's like, there's no like judgment, or there's no like feeling of like, oh my God, this has to be perfect, or like they're all depending on me, whatever it is, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. All right. Taurus. I almost want to say that your next steps to talk to a mother figure, or something about that. Nine of Cups. All right. Okay, so back over to your challenge. You guys have the Four of Wands, and then you have it with the Nine of Cups here. And this is showing up for what you're not able to control. I feel like this is, again, somebody who is like totally, this is either something that is at capacity, like it's like, dude, this thing is full. You can't, it's, what are you going to do? It's like, you know what I'm saying? This feels like something is like, it's official, and it's completely like, almost like a full house or whatever it is, that kind of stuff, to the point where somebody is like, they don't want to get out of their comfort zone, or they're like, this is exactly where I want to be. Or again, it's like you're waiting for somebody to come out so that you can go into something. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't know, something like that. Okay. That might be something that you are, that just, you're not able to control, you know? So yeah, there might be something here that it's like, you kind of have to wait around for something, or there might be like, God, I wonder when this is going to happen, or, you know, that kind of thing. All right. So let's see. I also wonder if what you can't control is something that was maybe left incomplete, something that maybe was supposed to be fulfilled, and it was like, dude, that was left incomplete, that kind of stuff, okay? So, all right, let's see. You guys have the Ace of Wands, and then you have it with the Nine of Pentacles here. This is showing up for what you can control. So here's the thing. If you are like having trouble in this like success, this success card, like maybe something like you thought this was going to work out, or this was going to be the thing, or whatever it is, and maybe you haven't seen the results from that, I feel like what you can control is keeping your motivation up, that kind of stuff, and really making forward moves, that kind of stuff, in order to see those results that you are wanting, in order to feel like, okay, this was worth it. Like I've like proven that this thing is like worth like putting your energy into, or worth kind of desiring it still, or, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. That maybe is just something that, you are able to control here. All right. So you have the Hermit card, and then you have it with the Strength card, and this is showing up for your next step. So this feels like maybe this is influencing a situation in a way that like you would do it. It's like, I'm not going to follow the crowd. I'm not going to again, it's like, I'm going to listen to my own advice, or I'm going to really listen to your own advice, that kind of stuff, connecting like with your own inner guidance, that type of situation. And then like moving forward in that way. But I feel like it does take an energy of strength here, okay? That energy of like believing in yourself, that kind of stuff, and maybe even pushing yourself out of like some type of hermit energy once you've kind of like figured out, whatever it is that you want to do, or be like, okay, that's the thing that I want to do, even if like they're telling me to do it this way, or, or even like trusting like your own information over somebody else's, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm understanding here. So, all right. All right. So let's see. You guys have the reverse Two of Wands, and then you have it with the reverse Queen of Pentacles, and this is showing up as your skills. So again, I feel like this is backtracking something. It's like if you had like one opinion of a situation that maybe you were helping out, or something was missing in some sense, okay, that kind of stuff, then I feel like you have the skills of, again, reworking a plan, or taking a couple steps back so that you can maybe, again, like rework something, or add something, or detract from something that you're doing here, that kind of stuff. That seems like that's in your skills. Again, backtracking something, reworking a plan. I even understand, I got to tell you, for some of you guys, this whole thing, it might be that your skills are maybe going into something that is unplanned, that is maybe, I want to say a little bit like ungrounded, or like really like up in the air, that kind of stuff. I'll even say there might be something where you're able to handle a certain level of uncomfortableness, or that kind of stuff. Okay. I do understand that. This "You Are Brilliant" card is so interesting to me. Like this to me, like, there's, I'm like, it also has a peacock on it. And it's like, this might be something here where it's like, dude, you need to kind of like let yourself be seen in some way here, that kind of stuff, or at least sharing like some knowledge or inner like story or something that you have, that kind of stuff. But it's like bringing it out in the open. And that's what I'm feeling. And I guarantee you that there's going to be people who are like really interested in that, or even like, dude, like that was an awesome idea, or like, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm feeling. All right. So let's see. You guys have the Knight of Cups reversed, and then you have it with the Six of Pentacles, and this is showing up for possible help. So again, I feel like this is somebody who's like, again, they like want something, or they like have like a wish. They're like, I wish this, or I feel, maybe romantically drawn to a situation, or whatever it is. But there's something here there's some level of disconnect, to the point where they are not anticipating a certain thing from you. And I feel like that should take pressure off of you. That's kind of what I'm understanding, is a level of like taking pressure off of you. Or this is somebody who's like coming in with like maybe really nice words, whatever it is. But again, it's like, I do think it's like in an effort to take pressure off of you in some sense, that kind of stuff. I also understand somebody who's maybe like giving something to you out of the complete kindness of their heart, without expecting anything to be like reciprocated in any way, that kind of stuff. Somebody who's like maybe just really like from their heart giving you whatever it is, okay, that kind of stuff. Or yeah, like it's like even somebody who's like maybe going out of their way to choose you on something, that kind of stuff. Like, that could also be part of whatever this is. That's awesome. So, all right, you have the Moon card and then you have it with the Hanged Man. So very spiritual, very intuitive, that kind of stuff. This is showing up as your next steps forward. So yes, going into something that is like secret or unknown, that kind of stuff. Maybe even hanging out with a Cancer person. Okay, that could be part of whatever this is. And I also understand something about your next moves. It's like when you kind of face the thing that you're maybe like, dude, that like almost scares me, or that is so unknown and mysterious, like what goes on there. It's like going into that, I think, is going to give you a real like sense of like just a new understanding on something, or seeing something from like a totally different perspective, totally different lens, that kind of thing. Okay, I do understand that. All right, I actually like totally understand that. And I'm telling you, this whole success energy that's showing up in your challenge, like I just like, yes, it's a challenge, but I feel like everything in your opportunity is showing that this challenge is like more of a delayed thing. It's not like it's like, oh nope, this is never going to happen. It's like the success is something that you have to like kind of change your mindset and be open to success, you know, being open to victories, that kind of stuff. And again, possibly being okay with opening up and showing like your true self, or being okay with like being seen, or sharing something that you know on the inside and bringing that out into the open without feeling like I'm going to be judged or critiqued or whatever the heck it is, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, that's what I have for you guys, Taurus. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you can check your other placements. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.